At this point in the Focus for Payoff program, you have learned virtually everything you need to know to pay off your debt in less than 24 months. But there is more. We have to talk about your expenses. All of your expenses other than your debt. This is really where your biggest opportunity is. Locate the 1-year spending summary form. The 1-year spending summary form is an easy-to-fill-in list of just about everything you can spend money on other than debt. These are your living expenses. Do you know what your living expenses are? Do you know what your living expenses total for each month? How about for all of last year? Knowing what your living expenses are is an important part of even the most basic personal financial management. The reasons that I want you to know about your living expenses may not be what you think they are. This is not about budgeting. The 1-year spending summary is not a budget, and I would never ask you to make a budget. I would certainly never ask you to live on a budget. A budget is a list of limits and restrictions. It's a reminder of what you cannot have. I want you to be reminded of what you can have, what is possible for you. A budget is just like a diet, but for your money. We all know that diets only work temporarily at best. When you put yourself on the restrictions of a diet, you are bound to break your diet and binge at some point. Everyone does. When that happens, the whole purpose of the diet is lost, plus you suffer stress and disappointment when you realize that all the effort you put into your diet or your budget was for naught, wasted. There is a much better way than a diet or a budget. The 1-year spending summary is a simple list of what it cost you to live last year. You need to know what it costs you to live so you can compare that information with your income to see what exactly is left over. The leftover amount is what's available for you now, and for you later when you stop working and retire. Your dreams can come true. You do have choices. Many of your choices will be made possible from the money you have left over after you pay your living expenses. Take some time to fill in the 1-year spending summary. Fill in every line that applies to your particular living expenses. If you have never totaled up your expenses by the month or for a whole year, you will be enlightened when you see, category by category, exactly where your money has been going. It's especially enlightening if it has been your partner, not you, who has been paying the bills. One interesting thing you may notice is how little your living expenses are compared to how much you earn. That is surprising, of course, because so much of your income has been going to pay your debts. Just imagine how much money you will have left over every month as soon as you have no debts to pay. In order to get the most out of the 1-year spending summary, fill in the blanks according to what you actually did spend last year. Don't fill in what you should have spent or what you wished you spent. Fill in what you did spend. Remember, this is not a budget. This is just a review of your living expenses. Once you have all the blanks filled in, you can use the 1-year spending summary to add up just how much cash you will need for your 2-week spending periods. Take the amount in the yearly column for each line that accounts for any of your own local over-the-counter expenses. Add them all up and then divide the total by 26. There are 26 2-week periods in every year. Once you know the amount you will need to spend for each 2-week period, then you can add $200 to that amount, and you have the amount of cash you should be carrying at the beginning of every 2-week period. As you fill in the blanks on the 1-year spending summary, and then as you use it to calculate your 2-week spending amount, you are going to stumble on the real opportunity for preparing it in the first place. I guarantee it. You see, throughout the Focus for Payoff program, you have listed your debts, learned about mailbox stress, learned about the best way to use bank accounts, checks, credit cards, and so forth. You have learned about the proper spending question, carrying cash, and you learned how to pay your bills the most stress-free way possible. You have explored and listed ways to find cash and increase your income. I hope by now that you are very excited about the possibilities for you and just how fast you can pay off your debt. But for most people, virtually everyone, the very biggest opportunity they have is right there in the 1-year spending summary. That is where your money went. That is probably where your money has been going for some time. That is where the real opportunity lies to pay off your debt just as fast as possible. Look, if you want to drag out your debt payoff to 5 or maybe even 10 years, you certainly have that choice. But if you came this far with me, you know that you do not have to wait that long. You can pay off your debt in less than 24 months. The key is in your 1-year spending summary. As you look over the amount on every line in the yearly column, it will become clear, absolutely clear, where you can spend less money, even for a short period of time, so that you will have as much money as possible to pay off your debt as fast as possible. A short period of time. These are not lifelong changes you are making. My experience in dealing with people for many years is that virtually everyone is willing to do virtually anything that is necessary that will be good for them or their family, as long as it doesn't last too long. Each person has an amount they can take. Everyone has a breaking point. That's not the issue here. We are talking about a short period of time. What items on your 1-year spending summary can you give up for 6 months? Is there anything you can give up for 8 months or 1 year? If you look at this opportunity with an open mind, if you give yourself a chance to start over, if you want to pay off your debt more than you want to live a particular lifestyle, then you will be truly amazed at what you can do. The majority of the expenses on your 1-year spending summary are not for necessities. They are for the quality of your lifestyle. Almost everything on the list could cost more or less depending on the choices that you make. You have the opportunity now to choose just how long it will be until you are debt-free. The more you can give up from your 1-year spending summary for a short period of time, the faster you will be debt-free. It's not that you have to be destitute or give up everything that you enjoy, but it's not that difficult to find hundreds of dollars per month or thousands of dollars per year of things you can do without for a short period of time on the 1-year spending summary. We are so used to doing what other people always do, or doing what we habitually do, that doing things a new or different way is rarely a real option for most people. It's a real option for you now. I'll tell you this, everything you decide to give up for a short period of time, whether it's meals out or cable TV, will be so much sweeter when you have it again. And you will have it again. I'm not going to list the hundreds of ways you can spend money. Spend less money, although I'd like to. You know where you can spend less money. My goal for you here is for you to see the bigger picture. You have all the tools in the Focus for Payoff program. You are educated and empowered. If you focus every available resource at your disposal onto your debt, you will be debt-free in less than 24 months. And on that day, and every day that follows, for the rest of your life, you'll never have to look back. You'll never have to look back and wonder why you are still giving up your income for purchases made months or years ago. You will only be looking forward. You will be dreaming and watching your dreams come true over and over again. If you need even more motivation, add up all the money you spent paying toward debt in the last 12 months. Isn't it staggering? Thousands. How many thousands for you? As soon as your debt is gone, you will be able to spend that amount of money, every year if you want, on you or on anyone you love. I have met with countless people and countless couples who spent so much toward debt every year that if they didn't have to pay debt, they could travel to Europe for 2 weeks and vacation in total luxury. Every year. I know that seems extreme, but you have the numbers right there in front of you. It is possible. Maybe a vacation isn't your thing, but something is. Whatever you want, whatever you desire, is within your reach. As soon as you knock down the wall of debt that stands in between you and your dream. If you have a spouse or partner, you have something else in your favor. Hopefully, you listened to the Focus for Payoff program with your partner, and you are now both moving in the same direction financially. One thing you can do for your partner is to help them say no when it comes to spending. Ask your partner if they will give you this authority. It can be extremely tempting to spend money when we shouldn't. Give your partner the authority to say no to you also. It can be a big help when it's difficult to help yourself. Consider making an agreement with your partner that for a short period of time, you will both become as cheap as you can possibly be. It can be a challenge and even fun to constantly find new alternatives to spending money and new, cheaper ways to buy things, all kinds of things. The agreement doesn't have to last forever, but the longer you play the game, the faster you will be debt-free. There you have it. Focus for Payoff. All 7 steps and all the information you need to become debt-free in less than 24 months. I hope you enjoy your journey toward debt freedom. Please contact me with your thoughts and your progress. I would like to share your success and use your insight and experience to help others in the future.